Now, who's this?
I take it you're recording our call now?
Who is this?
I take it you're recording our call? Is that correct?
You can tell me who this is again.
I already told you, Mr. Dorsey.
But repeat yourself. Repeat yourself.
Well, I'm an agent with the Federal Bureau of Investigation here in Richmond, Virginia with the Joint Terrorism Task Force. Got a couple minutes?
What's this for?
Well, I'm just calling because it's come to our attention that you may have made some unspecific threats to people. And I'm just calling to talk to you about that.
I've made no threats against anyone. So, all right. Well, thanks a lot for the call. So, your name is Agent Rosenberg, correct?
That's right, yeah.
Okay. All right. What's your first name?
Well, then I'll keep to myself. So I'll tell you what, because you're recording this call, if you'd like to discuss this matter, we can do so again on the phone. Or
Well, why don't we just discuss it now? I mean, what's the problem? I mean, I you know, I'm a public figure. You're aware of that. I'm a person who goes on international television and discusses geopolitics and the law. Have you ever read the Constitution?
I have, yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, fair enough. What specifically? You know, I mean, how has this come to your attention? You know, tens of thousands of people, you know, have actually millions of people have watched my information. So
I don't know if I'd say it's millions based on some of your podcasts I watched.
Okay. You know, okay. So you watch my podcast. I don't really have a podcast.
Well, whatever you want to call it, what you leave on YouTube and social media. You want to call it a podcast? You want to call them recordings? Sure. Yes.
Okay. So, okay, you're listening to my whatever information, my recordings on YouTube. So
yes.
Is that okay? So you're saying that's how it came to your attention? What came to your attention? That I talk about the Constitution?
Well, that I mean, you think that let's see here, that you think that you should usurp the power of the federal government, take our weapons, kill public figures, things of that nature?
No. I would talk about enforcing the Constitution. I talk about well, I mean, obviously it's recorded what I talk about, so that's certainly not that. I mean, you've read Article 3 of the Constitution, correct?
I just want to get what I really want to do is just clarify. If you're telling me that you don't at least.
I'm certainly telling you that I would never do anything illegal in any sort of way, and I would never do anything to hurt anybody.
Okay.
And everybody is well aware of that. So I think that's very clear, and I think that this is certainly harassment on your part for calling me up and misrepresenting what's being said clearly on for all the public to hear. And you know, it's very interesting that you're talking about specifically live recordings, and you know, there's lots of them. I mean, there's lots of live recordings. So very specifically, I talk about the U.S. Constitution, the law of the land, and that's it specifically. I get very specific about what's going on with the with everything that I'm saying. So I don't know why you're calling and misrepresenting, you know, what's being said on the radio. It's very clear. But since you're listening specifically and you're telling me that that you're not listening very closely and you're misrepresenting what's going on, I don't know what to say about that. But yeah, it's very clear what I'm saying.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
No, you go ahead. It'll be on the recording.
So you're telling me you've never threatened any public officials before? You wouldn't do anything to harm any public officials?
Of course I would. You know that's true. You know that's true. Of course I would never do that. How many times do I have to say it? I would never hurt anyone, any public official, any non-public official. I have no intention of doing anything mean or bad or wrong to any person, anywhere, at any time. And you know that. And you know that. And you know that.
Now just because you're recording this and I'm asking these specific questions, or that's...
Well, it's because that I'm very clear all the time, everywhere, and you know, and anybody who ever knows anything about me knows that I would never do anything to harm anyone, never have, and never will, and in no way have ever indicated that I had any sort of intention of doing anything like that. So...
How about the individual? I mean, I know that you wanted to challenge Mr. Kessler, who organized Unite the Right.
That guy, he works... Look, I've never done anything bad to Jason Kessler, would never do anything bad to Jason Kessler, don't know Jason Kessler except for the fact that he is working for the federal government like you. And...
Of course, I mean, I'm working for it. I told you that. What makes you think? I'm just curious. What makes you think he's working for the federal government?
I would be surprised. I mean, because it just like lots of folks think that. I'm not exclusive on that. I would say anybody who has an opinion about anything thinks that. That's just my personal opinion. You know,
not based in fact. It's just your opinion. I'm just trying to get.
It's what I think is true, and it doesn't matter what I think is true. I certainly would not do anything to Jason Kessler or any person other than Jason Kessler or anybody at any time, any place, or anything like that. As you know.
Well, I don't know that I know that for sure based on...
Well, I'm telling you, there's no indication that I would, and I'm telling you explicitly that I would not do anything to harm another individual or to violate anybody's rights at any time for any reason. So thank you. I mean, thank you for the opportunity to make that very, very clear and abundant, as I do every time I go on the air when I advocate nothing but, I don't advocate anything. I just say what the law is. So, anyway.
Okay. That's fair. I think that you advocate the overthrow of the government, too.
No. I advocate what the, I speak about Virginia Constitution. That's very clear. U.S. Constitution is very clear, and the Declaration of Independence very clear. No, we never use that word. Correct anybody when they tell me that I do use the word and I don't use that word. So it's very clear.
The word being overthrow.
Abolish the government as written into law. Have you ever read the Virginia Constitution?
Yes, and I listened and read what you said about it too. So I'm just trying, now that you and I are on the phone, I mean, I find this fascinating. I'm very happy that you stayed on the phone with me this long, and some of the other encounters I know you've had with law enforcement, you're off the phone with them, or you end the conversation pretty quickly. I'm glad we're having a civil conversation.
Of course, I always have a civil conversation with anybody. You're calling me, and I'm talking about what's specifically in the law, and that's it. And it's very clear, and there can be no disputing what's in the law. Have you ever read the Declaration of Independence?
Yes. And so what
Okay. So what does the Declaration of Independence say that the people ought to do if the government is working against the interest of the people? What's the word it says?
Why don't we start when we take...
No. I'm asking you a question. You call me up asking me questions. I'm asking you a question now.
Why do you think the government is working against you? I don't even understand why you think that's a...
Well, I mean, I've talked to Mike Morehart. You know him, right?
I don't know who Mike Moorhead is.
He's former special agent in charge of the Richmond FBI, and Adam Lee, regarding September 11th. That was carried out in large part by the government, and I'm very clear on that. So yeah, I mean,
9/11 was a government conspiracy.
Yeah, among other things, yeah, that's what John Farmer, the legal counsel for the 9/11 report, says. Right?
That's what you're telling me? Sure, I haven't read
What? You've not read the 9/11 report?
In its entirety, no. I've not read the entire
Okay. Okay. Well, John Farmer is very clear. He didn't. You don't even have to read the report to say that this was, the 9/11 Commission was based on lies from the federal government, from all aspects of the federal government. So, I mean, it's not just what I'm saying. I mean, I don't say things that haven't been verified as true. But anyway, okay, I made myself clear, and that I think that's I don't know. I think that's probably enough conversation with you. So
I appreciate your time.
all right. Well, this will be on YouTube, and all right.
Wait to hear myself. That's exciting.
Well, it's not going to sound all that great, but okay. All right.
When you cut it into sound bites, I'm sure it will. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to cut anything into sound bites. I'm unaware how to do that. I make that clear all the time. But okay. All right. Well, God bless, and have a good day.
You too.
All right.